Holy smokes, it looks like we know why Tesla stock sold off so much today. No, it's not because everyone overnight came to the assumption that Elon Musk is somehow a Nazi. He is not. We're not going to get into that here in this video. He's not a Nazi, okay? Some people said that's why Tesla sold off so much today, and I think you can make an argument for that, but it looks increasingly more likely that it's the TikTok Elon rumor that is growing, especially with what Donald Trump just said. Take a listen to this clip.
Let me do this first.
Are you open to Elon buying TikTok?
Say it.
Are you open to Elon buying TikTok?
I would be if you wanted to buy it.
Have you discussed it with Larry Ellison?
I'd like Larry to buy it too. I have the right to make a deal. So the deal I'm thinking about, Larry, let's negotiate in front of the media. The deal, I think, is this, and I've met with owners of TikTok, the big owners. It's worthless if it doesn't get a permit. It's not like, oh, you can take the U.S. The whole thing is worthless. With a permit, it's worth like $1 trillion. So what I'm thinking about saying to somebody is buy it and give half to the United States of America, half, and we'll give you the permit. And they'll have a great partner, the United States. And they'll have something that's actually more valuable because they have the ultimate partner, and the United States will make it very worthwhile for them in terms of the permits and everything else. But so think of it, you have an asset that has no value or has $1 trillion value. It all depends on whether or not the United States gives the permit. So what I'm saying is let the United States give the permit, and the United States should get half. Sounds reasonable. What do you think?
Sounds like a good deal to me, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
And I actually think that is Larry Ellison. Let me know if that is or not, but I believe it is. And if you guys have ever read this book, Elon Musk's biography by Walter Isaacson, long read, but a good read, you would know that Elon and Larry Ellison are pretty good personal friends. There's a lot of remarks from Larry in that video. So I think Wall Street's just getting, see if I can do that without knocking the books over. I think Wall Street's getting a little bit nervous about the prospects of Elon being involved in a TikTok acquisition. Okay, now let me tell you, we have a huge rumor. This is really a continuation or validation potentially of a rumor that has been circulating for a while now. I hope this is not true, what we're going to talk about here in this video, but it's getting the president's attention apparently. I guess he's thought about this or had conversations about this, and it is Elon Musk buying TikTok. Just to spare you the semantics of it, this could ultimately be why Tesla sold off so much when we started the trading day. Maybe it's not because everyone overnight thought Elon was a Nazi. Okay, maybe, just maybe, somebody knows Elon's about to buy TikTok. I'm hopeful that's not the case, but considering what the president just said, I think we have to raise the odds of this a little bit at least. And we've all been wondering why Elon has not come out and taken a stance on himself potentially buying TikTok. Okay, Elon seems to have an opinion on everything, and that's the beautiful part about America, about being the president, a business leader. It doesn't matter who you are allowed to speak freely on something. And Elon has said many times in the past that he's going to talk about what he wants to talk about, and if he loses money because of it, well, who cares? So it's getting weird that Elon has not said anything about this. I also think it's kind of weird that Elon has not commented on the Trump or Melania coin yet either, since that's kind of up his, on his playing field. Topic for another video. But Trump says that he is open to Elon Musk purchasing TikTok. Now, he was asked by a reporter if Elon could be purchasing TikTok soon. And that's what Trump had to say, that he's open to Elon purchasing TikTok. I mean, I don't really think it's ultimately Trump's call here, but this does kind of rub me the wrong way. I have to be honest. That, maybe the selling today could have a little bit more to do with this than the whole Elon's a Nazi thing. Okay, which he's not. If you don't know, he did a gesture from his heart, basically saying he relates to you. He was excited. Okay, he's got autism. He's give him a break. He's not a Nazi. Okay, for anyone that was wondering. But this would not be good for Tesla stock, to say the bare minimum. Now, Squawk Square on X says the fact that Elon hasn't mentioned anything about TikTok, denying the rumors, and Trump is now publicly saying he'd be okay with him buying it is scary. If Elon had to drop anywhere from 60 to 190 million shares, depending on price, we'd all be royally fucked. Okay, now let's do a little bit of math here. Okay, there is varying different opinions on what the TikTok US division would be valued at. I've heard numbers as low as 40 billion. I've heard numbers as high as 100 billion. If you Google it, it's going to tell you around 100 billion. Let's say it's somewhere in the middle at about 60 billion. Let's say there's 3 partners on this. I don't think Elon would buy all of TikTok himself. I think he would bring some partners in for this because he would have to sell a lot of Tesla stock, and there's been many people that are open to this. Like even Kevin O'Leary said he would put $20 billion cash up, I don't know where he's getting all of that from, to buy TikTok. Assuming there is a third stake with 3 different partners, let's say Elon had to sell $20 billion worth of Tesla stock in order to buy TikTok, or at least his third share. Okay, you're gonna divide 20 billion by 400, call it $420, and Elon would have to sell about 47 million shares to go ahead and purchase that. Now, it could be a lot more depending on partners or not, but that's still a pretty sizable amount. If we look at the volume today, it was about 86 million. So that would be about half of today's volume in selling pressure. And it would likely have to happen within a short time frame because there's only a 75-day extension on the whole TikTok ban. So do I think this is a certainty? Absolutely not. Am I getting a little bit more nervous, as Trump said this just an hour or 2 ago? Yeah, and I've been in the markets long enough to know that insiders get information before we do. If big money knows about Elon potentially buying TikTok, they're going to most likely know about that days or weeks before we do. And they're going to start unloading their positions. And the selling that we've seen today, one could say that everyone thinks Elon's a Nazi and that's why they sold the stock. Sure, you can get away with making that argument. But Elon buying TikTok, big money front running that could make a little bit more sense to me. Now, I was really skeptical on this before Trump mentioned Elon buying TikTok, but now it just makes me think about these things a little bit more. Now, Tesla stock ultimately did come back a little bit. Tesla was only down about 0.5% to end the trading day, currently down about 1% here in after hours, which is remarkable considering the S&P is continuing to move higher, up 0.15% in after hours. The RSP as well is moving higher. Netflix was the star of the show in after hours. Netflix earnings were very good. Netflix is up 14.3% in after hours. The big metric that everyone kind of is focusing on with Netflix is that subscriber growth. They were only expected to grow 9 million subscribers. They actually grew almost 19 million subscribers. So Netflix kind of gave everyone a boost. And then the news in after hours that Stargate is going to be partnering with OpenAI, with SoftBank, and they are going to invest $100 billion into AI infrastructure, and they're going to invest $500 billion over the course of the next 4 years and create hundreds of thousands of jobs. This gave NVIDIA a bit of a move higher. This gave Oracle a move higher. This gave many large cap companies a move higher. NVIDIA and after hours is up 1.5%. So it really stands out that Tesla is yet again in the red here in after hours today. Now, option activity for Tesla today was 64% positive. So that's not a terrible number. You only had $65 million worth of option activity, so that's definitely on the low side. But 64% positive is pretty good, and you would expect there to be a lot of puts being bought if TikTok was really going to be bought by Elon. I think there's going to be more signs of this as we get closer. Now, Elon's obviously not a dummy. He knows we're kind of... There's a rumor going around that Elon's going to buy TikTok. Like I said in the last video, guys, I was told as TikTok was getting banned, it was like, Saturday night, Friday, the day before the ban, from people that know nothing about stocks, that don't own a single stock, that have never owned a stock in their life, people were telling me that Elon was going to buy TikTok. I don't know if that was something that was going around on TikTok. I'm not exactly sure. But there is even this rumor not in the investment community. Go ask people. Ask your wife. Ask your girlfriend who they think is going to buy TikTok. And odds are they're going to say Elon. I don't know where the hell that came from. But this is like not just a rumor in markets. It's an actual rumor in like the real world. Okay. Not to say the markets are not the real world, but yeah, let me know what your wives and girlfriends say down below in the comment section if they have heard that Elon is going to potentially buy TikTok. But that would be an issue for Tesla stock short term. Now, I think you'd want to buy every share you possibly could, especially if we go back into like the 300s, the mid 300s, anything below that is a massive opportunity. And I think long term, I mean, you want Elon to buy TikTok. You want a discount on Tesla stock if you're thinking from a long term perspective. But for the short term guys on there, it would be a little disappointing. Now, again, I'm not going to jump to certainties here. I'm not going to draw this as a conclusion until Elon says something. And I'm not selling any Tesla stock. I don't think it ever makes sense to sell Tesla. If you've ever sold Tesla in the past, you most likely regret it unless you invested in something that did better. But I mean, if you've ever bought Tesla before, as long as you have not bought, all-time highs, you have made money. So any dip, any fear, any Elon rumors, you've always made money when you've bought the dip. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. In fact, we got a $500 price target today. That's almost 20% upside from current levels. And that's from Wall Street guys. And Wall Street guys half-ass understand Tesla. Like, you could give most guys on Wall Street a run for their money in terms of actually evaluating the long-term potential of Tesla. So to answer that question, I'm not selling any Tesla stock. It is just a rumor. I wouldn't jump to conclusions until we hear something from Elon. And trust me, if Elon's going to buy TikTok, you're going to fall like minimum 25-30% from here at minimum. But it's not all going to happen in one day. So even if you did want to sell, that first day you're probably going to fall like 10%. Then you can make your decision there. But the way I see it, earnings are likely going to be a big positive for Tesla here coming soon. I think Elon's going to reiterate the lower priced Teslas are coming, as well as robotaxis are still on schedule to launch this year. And those are the big catalysts for Tesla's, upside at this point. And again, I will point out, as I did in the last video, Tesla is above its 20-day moving average. That's good. I mean, we remained above that today. Besides, when we hit the lowest levels, we kind of bounced back up above that and held those levels for a majority of the trading day. We closed above that level. So it doesn't actually look bad as far as the charts. in Tesla stock. Now, we did have a little bit of bad news here in After Hours. I guess you could call it bad news. It may be good news. The dollar rises against other currencies as Trump considers a 10% tariff on China. Now, I don't know if this is good news or bad news. It depends who you are and how you look at this. But a 10% tariff on China, that's it? That's not as bad as we thought. And if we're only going to get a 10% tariff on China, maybe only even a 10% tariff on Canada and Mexico, we'll see, then that could actually be a better outcome than a lot of people on Wall Street have been expecting. And I think that would help to fuel a continued rally in markets. Trump also said today that he would like to see federal land opened up for data centers. Again, that's one of the areas I'm bullish on this year. I'm bullish on areas like Tesla, your AI appliers. I'm bullish on AI software, and I'm bullish on AI data centers. That would be like an Oracle, perhaps an Amazon, or Applied Digital. That's the one that I own. Smaller cap, they're up and coming. They got some data centers being built in North Dakota and other areas right now. That's one that I like a lot. And if you are a little nervous about Tesla, it's never a terrible idea to get some data centers in there. Although I do think Tesla will likely outperform everything else. I think Tesla is going to be one of the best performing stocks in the S&P this year. And I have a year-end price target of over $900 per share on Tesla. So, is this the time to panic because Tesla did not move higher today and everything else basically did? No, I think there's just a lot of rumors right now, and rumors ultimately end up being opportunities. Even if they're not true or not true, once you actually get confirmation, it's likely to be an upside catalyst for Tesla. Of course, as long as Elon is not actually going to sell 60 million shares of Tesla, then that would be a different question. But I still think there's like a 20% chance that Elon does actually want to buy TikTok and like an 80% chance that he does not want to buy TikTok. This guy's got 7 companies. He's got his hands full. I think the last thing he really wants to do is make a multi-billion-dollar commitment on TikTok. But hey, who knows? Let me know what you guys think about that down below in the comment section. As far as the trading day tomorrow, I do think it's going to be a lot about AI, a lot about semiconductors. The companies today that Trump announced are going to work on the $100 billion investment coming from SoftBank and Stargate. That's going to be a big trade tomorrow. You can already see those stocks are doing very well today in after hours. We don't have much for economic data tomorrow. You really don't have anything at all. You have some crude oil numbers coming out at about 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Mortgage rates, mortgage applications, the purchase index for mortgages, but that is pretty much it as far as earnings are concerned. We had our big dog Netflix today in after hours. That's likely to give the markets a boost as well. The numbers were just so much better than Wall Street was expecting. I think it gives a little bit more confidence towards other big tech names, so that should be a positive tomorrow as well. But pre-market, you will have Johnson & Johnson, Halliburton, GE Vernova, Ally, Comerica, P&G, and Abbott. Tomorrow in after hours, Kinder Morgan, Alcoa, Discover. Thursday, Texas Instruments, Intuitive, CSX, Huntington, American Airlines, GE Aerospace, and Union Pacific. And then Friday is Verizon, American Express, and Next Era Energy. Again, let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. Do you think Elon really wants to buy TikTok? Or do you think this is something that people are just making up because Elon has the capacity financially to buy TikTok? That's kind of what it seems like to me, but the fact that Trump said this today in after hours is making people a little nervous that Elon might just buy TikTok, and that's why we have to talk about it. But I don't think now is the time to panic. I don't think it's going... That's the weird part, because there was so many things going on the last time Elon had to sell a lot of stock to buy Twitter. Like, he tried to back out of the deal first and foremost. likely when he seen how much carnage was taking place with Tesla stock. But also at that time, earnings estimates were plummeting for Tesla. Tesla margins were plummeting for Tesla at that time. It was the fastest drop in auto gross margins we had seen in a long time, and Tesla was cutting prices like crazy. Really, those two things kind of go hand in hand. We don't have those things going on right now. So I don't think we have to see the same kind of collapse like we did last time, even if Elon does buy TikTok, which Tesla fell almost 70% in like 6 months. The last time he bought something with his Tesla stock, which was Twitter. Ultimately, I do think it'd be kind of cool, get TikTok in your cars, and the kind of integration that could come would be kind of cool to see. But nonetheless, let me know your opinions on this down below in the comment section. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.